My fundamental belief in this generational content is this. If you can better understand your clients as well as your workplace colleagues, if you can better understand their preferences and where these preferences come from, you're better able to serve them as clients, and hopefully they begin to refer you and they stay longer with you. All the benefits that come from a perfectly satisfied client. That's the goal here. Here's what I want you to think and do, and your frame of mind as we go through this content needs to look something like this. What does this mean to me? So I'm going to give you a lot of ideas. I'm going to give you some data. I'm going to give you some insights. And I want every one of them to go through the filter of these 4 questions. What does this mean to me? Why is this important to me? That's my favorite of the 4. Why is this important to me? How can I use this to better myself? And how can I use this to better those, to help those around me? There's a lot of content coming. It would be easy to say, and rub your chin and let it go. The best thing to do is to ask yourself through these 4 questions, what does this mean to me? How can I use it to help myself? And how can I help those around me? List of generations that I have pulled up. Which generation, in your opinion, represents the biggest challenge to connect with in the marketplace?
I would probably say for my age group, probably baby boomers.
And which age group are you? This is important.
Millennial.
You're a millennial trying to connect with the baby boomers. Okay. Can you give me a sense of why that connection is more difficult than the other generations?
I would probably say one is the age gap. One being the fact that Gen X and even the iGen are closer in age group to millennials, and in particular, probably based on the time period that they grew up in, just the generational differences, the thought process in particular.
I'm going to give you some tools, Matthew, to make a connection with these baby boomers. As soon as this webinar is over, you'll have some tools. Now, it's up to you to implement them, but you'll have some tools. Educate. Do not sell. Never say, let me tell you the features of this product here because this is the one I think you need, and you're going to glow at night if you get it. No, let me teach you how to buy. Here's what you need to know about each of them. Tell me which one interests you the most, and we'll pursue that one there, and I'll tell you more about it. Your communication with the Generation Xers, brief, efficient. You'll find that they're sparse communicators. Email is generally preferred. I want you to show order and neatness with Generation X right now. They're asking you to make sense of the chaos out there. Then your appearance, your office, I'm talking about your grooming, your office, your appearance, the reports you produce, the meetings, etc., need to reflect that you have an idea of how to break through the chaos. Here's the way they like to receive information. It's about the individual and the ego and how things will affect their lives and make them distinct, how you'll impact their future and how they're different. The best way to understand this is that we want to talk to your Xers and your millennials. And I think it will be the way with Gen Z, my kids, your kids, the youngest members of your workplace, perhaps, about their future. Here's what's going to happen to you. Here's how things are going to go down. Here's what you can expect. If you come to work here, imagine this conversation as you're recruiting. If you come to work here, here's what you can expect. Here's what your future may look like. Here's how I will interact with you. Here's the way we'll do things with you in planning for your future. Your conversation is about your future. Team is a word that for the baby boom generation has more resonance than any other word. Quality is the word for the generation that precedes the baby boomer. So each of these generations tend to have a word that stands out for the boomers. It's team. And I want you to get used to putting into your proposals, putting into your emails, or even articulating in person that you are ready and eager and interested and grateful to be a part of your clients, your customers' team being very important. So these things really capture a lot of what the baby boomers value about a salesperson and a sales relationship. All we have to do is understand them and mirror them back to the boomers. What we're going to do in terms of diagnosis is we're going to get into a chart that we've created that shows some of the greatest challenges between generations in the workplace. And we're going to work together to fill in the chart through an interactive component of this webinar that when it's complete, I'm convinced will become one of the greater tools that you'll have in terms of leadership in your quiver, however you describe it. This chart, when completed, is able to really diagnose many of the challenges that you face in the workplace. No set hours works, only the hours the job needs. Where does this one go? Give me column and row. I got one that says millennial schedule. I got millennial schedule, Gen X schedule, millennial schedule, millennial schedule. Everybody seems to think they know it, and they do. Well done. What I want to transition to now is the GenFlex process, which is the resolution to this. So we've got this Gen X thing going on that we discussed. We've got the workplace preferences puzzler, where we see all these challenges amongst generations laid out. Hopefully you've seen yourself in there, very, very important, so that you can begin to contrast your own preferences to the preferences of the people around you, whether they be colleagues or people on your team. What we've now got to do is begin the resolution. And the resolution is called the GenFlex process. And I think it's a great name because I made it up. The GenFlex model has 3 steps to it: discover, engage, and implement. And you can kind of imagine what these are, but I'm going to lay them out for you. And one of the handouts that you've been sent will become very important very soon, the GenFlex Conversation Planner.